And joining me now to talk about the furloughs, state parks, and charter schools is Senate Democratic Conference Leader John Sampson. Senator, thanks for joining us.
Hey, good afternoon, Liz. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. And I know that you've had a long night at the Capitol, and I really appreciate you joining us on this holiday weekend, the eve of the holiday weekend.
Thank you very much.
So it really was a little bit touch and go there for a minute. You had some deals on the state parks and also on charter schools, and the Republicans voted in a block against the parks bill, and you didn't have all your members in the chamber. What happened? Why did the Republicans do that? What happened behind the scenes?
Well, Liz, I guess they didn't think we had the 32 votes necessary for the parks and also the 32 votes necessary to pass the charter school legislation. But we had 32 votes on all of them. They voted resoundingly no on the parks issue. You know, our concern was making sure that the 55 million visitors that visit these parks are allowed to stay open. We supported 20,000 jobs with respect to this legislation. And, you know, we stood up. We didn't stand up for the 60 biggest polluters to keep the parks closed, the 60 biggest hazardous waste polluters. We understood the impact and the economic viability that these parks provide to the regions. And we have to understand that people are no longer taking vacations. People are, you know, it's not people are taking vacations, people are taking staycations, meaning staying at home and taking advantage of their parks, their campgrounds. So we were very happy to deliver this to not only those visitors, but also get additional revenue for the state.
But you know, the Republicans actually said that this increases fees and increases penalties, and there's also an e-waste recycling piece of this bill to generate revenue that's new, and that it comes at a time that businesses really can't afford that kind of thing. What's your response to that?
The response is that 377 small businesses, their fees are cut. The response is also that 20,000 jobs we supported. The response is also that those e-waste individuals, such as Canon, such as Kodak, they signed off on this legislation that we put forth, and that is my response. Our response is to continue to go forward, to provide an opportunity to those 55 million visitors and standing up for the people who use the parks.
Was it appropriate for the governor to play political football the way he did with the parks? I mean, many lawmakers told me that this is actually the one issue on which they heard more than anything else from their constituents about how unhappy people were. The governor tried to use this as a wedge to get a budget deal, and while you now have a deal to keep the parks open, you have no budget still.
Well, Liz, I look forward to making sure that we get to a budget. It's not about an on-time budget. It's about a good budget that reduces spending, provide property tax relief, and create jobs. I want to commend the governor on his leadership with respect to this bill and also the charter school bill.
On the charter school bill, actually, I was surprised to see all of your members voting yes. You've got some members in there who are facing primary challenges. Bill Perkins, for example, facing a primary challenge. Shirley Huntley facing a primary challenge from pro-charter school candidates who say that the Senate hasn't done enough to support charter schools. So how was it that everyone ended up voting yes?
Well, Liz, this is something that everybody has been predicting about our conference, that we never have 32 votes. We're not on the same page. I just want to let everybody know our conference is solid. We have our differences. We take care of our differences behind closed doors. But when we have to do what is right for the people of the state of New York, we move as one solid unit. They didn't think we had 32 votes on the parks. We did. We had 32 votes on the charters. Yes, we did. We delivered it. They didn't think we had 32 votes on our resolution back in March. We also did that. Our conference, you know, we went through growing pains like everything else, but we have gelled. We're together, and we're ready to move forward. I want to commend Senator Perkins, Senator Montgomery, Senator Shirley Huntley on basically understanding that this is a big thing with respect to charters and the investment of the educational well-being of our children. I want to commend Senator Perkins directly, because it was him who led the debate that forced all the parties to come together, and so we can be not only competitive with respect to race to the top, put ourselves in a great position to win.
Did you do this to inoculate them politically against some of this enormous criticism and potentially some of the money that the pro-charter advocates have said that they will spend to oust people who are not supportive of charter schools?
Liz, I know this is hard to believe, but what I try to do is not make political decisions all the time. I try to make the decisions by doing what is right, and this was the right thing to do. We need the money, but most of all, we need to show people that we not only talk a good game, but we can follow up with deeds, because we believe that education is the only thing that can knock down barriers, and we need to invest in the educational well-being of our children.
Just briefly before I let you go, on the furlough decision, the judge cited the resolution that your conference passed saying that this was unconstitutional before you voted for the budget extender it had in it. Thoughts on that?
Once again, Liz, when there was an extender, you had 32 Democrats who voted no on that extender that included furloughs, because we know we could not shut down government. Our colleagues on the other side of the aisle voted in the block no. And you know what? We understand what our responsibility is, and we have proven time after time that we can make the tough decisions in this climate. We're not going to abdicate our responsibilities. We're going to continue to move forward to make sure that New York State continues to be the Empire State, even during these very difficult fiscal times.
I have to let you go. Thanks very much, Senator. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care.